this is Ken. Thanks for joining me today. Today we're going to take you through my hike starting on the Temple of the Moon. This is just a little bit north of Cusco, all the way to Inkilltambo. So here you have a shot of the temple, a couple of nice photos. This is some pretty cool stuff. We had an opportunity to go into a cave here. Did not cross any lines, of course, allegedly. But pretty neat here just to see all these carvings. This was one of our first stops after our city Megaliths tour, but you can kind of see us hiking up to this cave and the intricate and heavily eroded carvings leading up to this cave. Lots and lots of steps, very, very deliberate type of architecture with the square cuttings and what have you. Obviously, you can see in the photos before, there was a lot of structures made from the Inca, and seems that they had found this, not nearly as precise as these. This is our group here, just in awe of everything that you're about to see in here. You can just take a peek as we're walking through. Even inside the cave too, there's tons of erosion. So this is obviously an ancient structure, especially since it is inside a cave, of course. It's protected from all the elements. There was a little bit of water, dripping from the ceiling, as you can see. One of the folks pointing it out. A little bit of stalactites which contributes to the erosion. But as you can see, there's some sort of an altar in the background, very intricately carved. Just makes you imagine how that was done, why, of course, it was done. And it's super interesting just to see all of these details in this cave. Really no signs of, it's extremely dark in there. We all have our lights on, but no signs of burning or anything like that to be able to light a flame. So it just makes you wonder how this was actually done, what source of light they had, and of course what the purpose is. This hike was pretty intense, especially for those of us who weren't familiar with the 12,000 foot altitude of Cusco. We're even a little bit higher here than Cusco. So this is Rumi showing us the coca leaves, giving us an introduction. Everybody choose coca leaves. There's a shot of them in my hand there. There's an activator that a lot of people like to use, but I like to eat them raw. But as we started our hike, coming across some seat-looking type megaliths, this is one that was aligned to the solstices and equinox. And you can see some folks sitting on that, but just the erosion on it is pretty incredible. How it's been exposed to the elements. This area, obviously extremely high, probably subject to a lot of glaciers and freezing conditions, which contributes to the erosion, but still, this is many tens of thousands of years. This is a block that I saw randomly off in the distance, very intricately carved. And so Derek Olson and I Derek from Megalithic Marvels took a walk over there, and then we start seeing some drill holes. And you can see even in the rock itself, some grass growing on the side, and there's a precision drill hole. Just a megalith out in the middle of nowhere, doesn't even really have a place. Like, where did it come from? What was the hole for? These types of things, we found pretty often on the hike, and this is one of the more interesting ones. So I wanted to take a picture of that and show you. But lots of water and creeks on this hike as well. So it's there's a waterfall that I'm going to show you later in this. This is another example of just the erosion. I will be about to show you another hole that's drilled, but this one appears to have been so eroded there was an original hole in this carve out. Stuff is growing in there, some sort of a drain, whatever, if it's an altar, a ceremonial type of a thing. But this picture is one that looks some sort of like a molded hole, but it goes all the way through the stone. This is the front side, just under. Don't have a picture here, but it actually drains out, and you can see there's a hole that it's curved, and just makes you wonder how they did it. But more of the carvings in the the super hard stone. There's Rumi just showing you how to absorb the energy from this particular stone. Made sure to say take your shoes off so you could experience the thing perfectly. So as we started our hike, this is kind of where our real hike started. You can see some megaliths in the distance, very eroded, very overgrown. But this Temple of the Moon site was probably one of the more eroded sites, and just scattered stuff everywhere as well. So makes you wonder, the true age of it. Again, Rumi says he likes to subscribe to the 80,000-year-old. And I believe that one just that it just went by was the Frog Temple by the creek. But we're starting our hike up here and crossing many paths of some streams. This whole water system, we found that there's lots of megaliths built around it, basically to guide the water, and they're still functioning today to basically create a river. Just getting some shots of some cool waterfalls as we're walking, hiking down this trail. Some pretty cool, beautiful scenery and natural landscape as we're on our way to Inkilltambo. This was fun. So at this point in my hike, I hadn't adjusted to the altitude yet, but this water was icy cold, and it was just awesome to get in it. Beautiful picture, just a nice waterfall into a cave. I wanted to do, for those of you who are Wim Hof fans, wanted to get in there and do some ice baths. There's another example of some megalithic walls, extremely eroded, but guiding that water, through the system that they had created, just an ancient water system. This is the more recent Inca construction, but just up that, we had some lunch on that site there, just on the other side of the hill. This is at the end of Inkilltambo, and you can see some portal type things. This is just a giant stone that has been carved out with a couple of portal windows and very intricate, precise. A couple of the folks were taking some measurements, and they were pretty much exactly the same. A little bit of a taper to the top, but just makes you wonder how they did this thing. Pretty cool shot there, but just a carve out. This was the entrance. Was a little bit afraid to go in there at first, but then I'm like, all right, I see Derek. Derek's like got the balls to jump over the line, make sure nobody's looking, and then he walks in there just to take a peek at what is this thing all about. So it's literally like maybe a couple feet wide type of a curve over there. So I'm like, all right, I gotta go see this. So Derek, thanks for the inspiration. Here we are inside a rock that has been carved out supposedly with copper chisels. And you can see there's these altars, again, kind of replicated of what is on the outside, but it just comes to an end here. You can even see some light shining through the old cracks and erosion. Obviously that giant gap there, but just pretty cool to just imagine what this was used for, why it was carved, and how too, because it is so precise, still so precise, but heavily eroded. But that was an amazing hike, and very cool to see all of these ancient megaliths that were extremely eroded. This was, like I said, one of the most impressive sites for the erosion factor. Could be just due to the little bit higher elevation and exposure to the elements, but one of those hidden gems of Cusco that you would never hear about unless you were actually there. So highly recommend this one. Temple of the Moon, all the way to Inkilltambo hike. Look forward to seeing you guys next time. Thanks for watching.